The conflict in Myanmar is very, very intense. It is August of 2026, and there is so much going on that I cannot even keep up. Each day, something new is happening, most of which I can't even talk about on TikTok out of respect for the people fighting, both the government and the resistance forces. So I'm just going to give you a quick summary of what's happened in like the last 5 or 6 days. Okay, today is August 12th, so let me just tell you about the last few days. Hello everyone, it's Asian Anthony, and in this video, I will explain to you what's going on in Myanmar, the latest updates. So let's just start with August 8th, okay? The Myanmar military launched a major operation in the Dawa East Special Economic Zone, which is in Yebu Township. And this is in like the southern region of Myanmar. And in this area, there is a very important Russian-backed infrastructure project which the government of Myanmar is trying to protect so they can finish building the mega project. So the military there has been building up for about a month now, a few hundred troops, about 500 troops there. And on August 8th, they started entering the villages and clashes started happening almost immediately, mostly with the PDF. And the PDF, this is the group that the government really hates the most. It's the only rebel group that the government of Myanmar refuses to make peace with. On August 9th, the KIA, along with the PDF, began fighting the Myanmar military in Kachin State, Xingwu Kachin State. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. This is in the north of Myanmar, and a military Myanmar column was ambushed by these resistance forces. The resistance forces captured their weapons and their ammunition, but the winner of this battle was pretty much unclear. But Kachin State is becoming increasingly important for the jade, the rare earth mining, and the strategic transportation routes to China. So fighting in Kachin State isn't just about territory. It's about resources and routes. On August 5th through August 9th in Rakhine State, which borders Bangladesh, the Arakan army and the Myanmar military began fighting near a place called Magway. Now, Magway is on the east side of Rakhine State, and this appears to be the most intense fighting front in Myanmar because the Arakan army is the most fierce of the rebel groups. They tend to win a lot of their battles. So what happened? The Arakan forces basically intercepted a advancing column of military troops, seized their weapons and their ammunition. And of course, after there wasn't much of a battle at this point, but the retaliation is when the battle came, because obviously the government was not just going to let them take the weapons and ammunition. So after that, there were airstrikes, there was a lot of shelling. It's just a lot of intense fighting. Rakhine State there's fighting all over Rakhine State. It's not just Magway, but I just wanted to just give you an update of what's going on in Rakhine State right now. On August 8th, the KNU, the Karen people, and the Myanmar military began fighting in Karen State. Now, Karen State is in the southeast part of Myanmar near the Thailand border. So the resistance fighters, the Karen National Unit, okay, the Karen people, the resistance fighters ambushed a 17-vehicle military convoy. This is very bold. After the ambush, because at first they were pretty much winning, after this ambush, the military took position in a nearby village, and they pretty much took over this village, and they used that position to start shelling the resistance forces. And this is how the fighting there started, okay? Now, this is just the first few days of August, okay? And there's a lot more that I can't even cover. There are many battles taking place right now, yesterday, and maybe even tomorrow. But I think it's worth noting that the government still has very strong control over a lot of the big cities. As a matter of fact, if you live in a big city like Yangon or Mandalay or the capital, you probably are completely unaffected by the conflict, which I would probably say is a good thing. The government does still have control over the population centers, but I say that to say this. This conflict is intense. My prayers go out to the government of Myanmar. My prayers goes out to the resistance for fighters in Myanmar. This has to end.